hair, or notice Melinda looking at me salaciously, I know one thing, and one thing only. Satan's waiting. Whenever I see Lawrence look at anyone, anytime, anywhere, it's clear to me there's only one possibility. Satan's waiting. It's not that we're slap out of anything, discombobulated about where to turn, confused about how much we earn. It's just so precisely clear: bodies to burn, problems to discern, apple carts to overturn. One thing so obviously transparent a reason: Satan's waiting. One of the great benefits about being a pseudo-intellectual on Maui is that the overall IQ is around 105 range, and people usually will believe anything and everything you tell them. And that's the great advantage for me. So, like Elmer Gantry, pack your duds. You're all going to hell. I don't think the burning really hurts as much, as I'm surely not going to miss the unrelenting sun of Lahaina. Maybe Satan's had too much bad press. Maybe too much prejudice. Maybe I'm stirring the pot. But maybe he should do some serious damage control. Maybe it's just me being too lugubrious. Or I could be right. So be on your toes, follow your nose, wherever it goes. Be aware that right around the next corner, on guard, Satan's waiting. I don't think some of you have heard this. I have a friend named Joey, and I've known him since he was a boy. He's old and tattered now, beaten down by life without a trace of joy. I have this friend named Joey, and in the 60s he'd cut off the left front paws of turtles to watch them swim in circles, and everyone gave up on him 30 years ago. I have this friend named Joey who walks diagonally like a bishop, and he comes to visit me at the lake as the last resort and steals my best bourbon, wine, and port. I have this friend named Joey who falls head first down hill trails when he's drunk and defeated. And he told me once, after being fired, that he'd laid in wait under a car with a baseball bat and proudly broke the ankle of the boss who fired him. I have this friend named Joey, and last summer, before his suicide, he wrote a beautiful poem and dedicated it to me. You see, I have this certain friend named Joey that I unequivocally, steadfastly, independently refuse to give up on. And now I'm so very proud of my refusal. I have this friend named Joey, and so do you. He is my metaphor for those of us lost. He is my metaphor for those of us found. He is now, and will always be, my great friend, Joey. Southern regional colloquialisms. Sister was driving in the Carolinas, contemplating she would slap out of bacon southeast of Macon. Little did she know or care there was a tear just south in her underwear, and Monty was there to repair. Monty dear, be of good cheer, repair the tear, but beware of the scare I feel will slap out of bacon in the near proximity of Macon. Monty didn't care. He knew there were two hogs making bacon southeast of Macon. Well, as fate would have it, southeast of Macon, two Letcher hogs, Harry and Harlot Hogged, were precisely making bacon, or faking making bacon, most all the time. Harry, what kind of hog are you? Queried Harlot. Either get over here and hog me, or call sister and tell her there'll be no bacon in Macon because we'll slap out. Harry said, Harlot, you're one fine hog, But it ain't nothing but mendacity for you to sit there and announce that we won't be making bacon round here. Here, meaning round these parts. The mere sound of our romancing will be as noisy as hogs on a hot tin roof. Shut up, Harry, declared Harlot. There's more to life than making bacon. Why don't you write me some poetry or pork a tree? Declared Harlot, batting her most beautiful and elegant eyelashes at Harry. Why don't you go pork a tree? Pronounced the perturbed, disturbed, and undeterred Harry. Why don't you tell sister that bacon is there for the making, but without good poetry, she'll be slap out of bacon, slap down in the middle of downtown Macon. And of course, the moral of our parable could only be, without poetry, Harry knew from the very start, Harlot would do nothing but leave skid marks on his heart. So long, be strong, and write good poetry, and make good bacon. This poem is over.
Becoming an epic.
All right. The children. The child stood resolute, determined, like a stone wall. I'll buy you that bicycle tomorrow, his father said. How quickly we forget. That bicycle is everything to a 4-year-old. The children. The cost. Maybe the father won't buy his crystal meth this week. Maybe he won't paint the town. Maybe she'll give up cigarettes for that bicycle for that determined, tow-headed child. The children. The true babysitters. The real reason people change. The children. I'm walking at Kaanapali Beach. Hello, mister, I hear from a mop-headed 10-year-old as he passes. I can't get away from him. All over town, little people, tiny people, people I've never seen, out of the blue say hello to me and say hello, mister. The children. If they only knew how much it means to me. Some teachers won't teach in the town in which they live. I've got at least 6,000 spies keeping my boat in tow. The children. Want to know the greatest thing about being a substitute teacher? The beautiful, simple, and unemasculated truth is, hello, mister, as a 4th grader passes, I might have touched. The children. I remember my sophomore year in high school. I had my sorry-ass C average and Miss Smith flunked me. I, of course, like the recalcitrant bicycle child, said, you can't do that. She said, make a B and I'll change it to a D. Make an A and I'll change it to a C. 3 years later, I was told by my counselor that but for that A in American history, I would not have been accepted to the University of Alabama. The children. Now, every day, I have the chance to be that horrible, wonderful bitch, Mrs. Smith, the teacher who thought I might be more than a C. Hello, mister, is worth the price. Hello, mister, the most precious words. The children. A girl's name written on a wall. There's a girl's name written on my bedroom wall. Tacked by a number 2 tacking nail is a girl's name on my bedroom wall, and at first it hung lifeless, staid, unpretentious, as a new puppy trying to find its bearings. A girl's name left in a Palmery champagne ice pail. A wisp of a girl, specifically a 53-year-old, 5-year-old, exploding with personality, daring me to love her. I took the dare. A girl's name is written on a note on my bedroom wall. A girl's name is written on a note deep inside my heart. 5-year-olds have a way of doing that somehow. I never really saw her coming, this thief in the night. She cried immediately when I told her, no you're not, asking if she could come and talk and sit with me. After a human era, those precious tears, trying to swipe them away, pretending not to be hurt. There's a girl's name written on a note on my bedroom wall. There's a girl's name written on a note tacked to my heart. This thief in the night came tiptoeing on my beach on Christmas Day in the afternoon. This pixie, this wisp, this Christmas present from God. And this is one of our challenges on an excursion out to the beach. Moonstruck. Struck by a harvest moon. Struck by the ambience of you in the room. Far from the mundane detachment of a kiss too soon. Moonstruck by the memory of you in a moonlit room. By the heaving of your breast and the passion imbued by the brilliance of the moon glow, moonlit dream come true.
Oh, yeah.
The nearness of you. Slowly, you turn your precious head towards the sea. And I wonder how God created such a magnificent human being. And I realize that you were mine, and I wonder why. In a moment's intuition, I touch your hand and pray that you won't disappear. Your hand responds, and I get an incredible look of love, and I wonder what I ever did to deserve the nearness of you. If I live 1,000 years, I will live in awe of those many glances, your eyes above the glasses, your smile without a stimulus. Out of shyness, my eyes deflect. My heart, however, is not such a coward. It forces me to take you in my arms and show you my love. My heart is, after all, the part of me you possess, the part you control with every smile. Giving my heart to you was the greatest gift and the easiest to give. Now, my complicated life is simple. My questions about God are answered. My hopelessness is over. There is only happiness and the nearness of you. Poems written in the back bed of Melinda's truck. I don't ask for much. I've tried to be a team player. Careful never to represent my opinion of my strengths. Hoping someone might think of me with a prayer. If someone could just get me out of this truck bed, I could write some damn poetry. Frost, Dickinson, Sandberg, I'm sure had moments like this. Somehow I don't see them in the back bed of Melinda's truck. If perhaps some bright shining day I could get a glimpse of old Abe Lincoln licking the lead of his pencil in that truck bed. The wind rushing, the eyes cast towards the sea, looking for pods, the constant leaning of the turns, seeing Melinda and Monty talking through the glass, sealing off the sanity. I wonder if she's thinking about me and how much she could like a truck bed writer. Lying supine, back of the head to the bed, forcing me to stare at the stars, the universe, feeling small, feeling blessed, so in love with Maui, so in love with my Creator, so in love with life. Pulling out the number 2 leaded pencil, knowing that the letters have to hit the page, knowing that no one cares where literature is born, just that it is created. Poems written in the back bed of Melinda's truck are just fine, really. Well, I might as well go all out. Sometimes there's just not enough Melinda. Dog days, weary weeks, maudlin months, sardonic seasons. Sometimes there's just not enough Melinda. Sultry nights, long hot summers, the stench of sex lingering in the air. Martini afternoons dissolving into steamy sheets at the Lahaina Inn. Faceless people, lugubrious defeatist, overwhelmed by circumstance. Sometimes there's just not enough Melinda. Beleaguered by the saturation of extreme beauty, paradise becomes the parademe. Beyond the senses, above the West Maui Mountains, the next day's rainbows bumping into each other like recalcitrant children, prisms, being out of Irish teardrops, crying for lack of Melinda.
Thank you.
It's all about the courage. Sometimes we think we know the answers. Sometimes we appear to have it all figured out, but keep it to ourselves. Then someone beats us to the punch, and we hide around the corner in desperation. You know that, don't you? That American men lead lives of quiet desperation. So I made this vow to myself years ago on a rooftop overlooking Birmingham to be bold and charge towards life, shooting for a combination of good and evil, knowing that asking questions is the only way to get answers. So I ask excruciating questions here in the peaceful sky, above the field lines of Maui, looking down on the Gongs and Garcias, Robinson, Masamotos, and all of God's courageous children. For it's all about the courage. Okay. Welcome to the West Maui Refugee Internment Facility, where soft fannies stretch the white vinyl plastic at 5:05. Others enjoy the golden view at Cafe Mateo. Welcome to the West Maui Refugee Internment Facility. Croquet at 7, Bloody Marys at 8, bridge, canasta, chess. Enough to appreciate the lack of restraints, the lack of showers. Welcome to the West Maui Refugee Internment Facility, where inmates march through the slackers, the vagabonds, laughing at the wind, laughing the brawling laughter of children. Kiss my fanny, Kukalani. Don't be so blue, Wailuku. Welcome to the West Maui Refugee Internment Facility. Prisoners of beauty, inmates of love, interned in God's great masterpiece, jailed to paradise, unwilling to escape. Welcome to the West Maui Refugee Internment Facility, so very far from Austerlitz, decades from Dachau. Forget the showers, remember the powers, remember Maui, and welcome to the West Maui Refugee Internment Facility.
She came to us in about a little over